Hello, everybody, and you are live with me at the Digital Marketing Corner, creating a lead magnet in a nutshell. Welcome, everybody. I'm just going to make my screen a bit larger. I'm not sure if you can all see my screen and hear me. If you can, please do pop it in the chat. And Princess, I know you should be here with me. If you could let me know on WhatsApp that you can see my screen. This is our first time going and being live on YouTube. So let's make sure that I am up and ready. Let me know that you can see and well, you can't see me, but hopefully you can hear me. Princess, thank you very much. I am live, and can you see my screen as well? If you could let me know. Any questions at all as I am delivering this, please do make sure that you use the chat. Please make sure that you use it, and after I finish, I will answer any questions. And Princess, who's also a part of Women in Digital Business, will send them to me as well so I can answer all the questions as I will be inside this presentation. And today we're going to be looking at creating lead magnets in a nutshell. So before we kick off and people are coming on, please do a few things for me while we get ready. Number one, can you please make sure that you subscribe to this channel? Okay, can you please make sure that you like this channel? To build our community, it's really, really important. Also, for the duration of this workshop for the next hour, please do make sure, now go and get a notepad. Make some notes. In every single workshop that we put on here at Women in Digital Business, we do make sure that we give away value, and it's my job to make sure that you walk away with nuggets. You walk away with tangible tasks that you can implement into your business that you will see a noticeable and visible difference. So if I haven't said it, welcome to Digital Marketing Corner. We come to you every month, and from June we'll be coming to you weekly. And Digital Marketing Corner really exists in me running different workshops in really understanding how you can put together your customer journey, otherwise known as a sales funnel, putting together strategies that's really going to help automate your business digitally and find customers online. Okay, so I know the chat is working. I want to know that I'm not out here by myself. So if you could put your name, where you're signing in from, is that the word? Sentence, where you are viewing from, signing in from, and what you do. It's always useful for me to hear and know what businesses do. That way, as I'm going through the material, I can relate. As you're populating the chat box, Princess, who's also from Women in Digital Business, our team, is also here on this call with me. She will send me any of the messages or what's going on in the chat. Okay, so please do use the chat or just tell us how you're feeling. Give us an emoji. What's your internal weather today? Let us know how you're feeling. But essentially, it'd be great to know who you are, where you're dialing in from, what country, what region, what part of the world, and what do you do? What does your business do? And if your business isn't up and running, what are you about to launch and what do you want to do? So let's get to know each other. Please drop that into the chat. It's really useful. And this is a live session. I want to make sure that I give you value. And it's nice when you're on these sessions that are virtual that, even though we're using technology, we can at least set up like a live classroom and we can interact with one another and we can get to know one another. So use the chat to introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about yourself and let everybody else who's here with us know a little bit about you as well. So with that said, we are going to get started. Okay, today we're going to be looking at lead magnets in a nutshell. And for those of you that might be wondering, Natalia, lead magnet, what exactly is that? A lead magnet, for want of a better term, is, marketeers would call it an ethical bribe. I don't like that terminology. A lead magnet is something that you would give away of incredibly great value in exchange for your prospect, your potential customers' details. So by details, I mean their email address. If you can get their telephone number and cell number, great. But think about it. What would you need to be getting for you to give away your cell number? So understand that the more information that you want from someone means the more that you have to make sure you are giving away something of great value. So a lead magnet is something that you would give away in exchange for your prospect. Your prospect is your potential customer, for their details, so you can keep marketing to them over and over again. Because if you don't, what happens is you get a lead and you'll lose that lead. So a lead magnet means by obtaining your prospect's details, you can keep marketing to them, because not every time you're selling is your prospect ready to buy. Okay, so let's get started. I want to see that chat popping off, by the way. Princess, do let us know what region of the world are people coming in for, what types of businesses have they got. Please make sure that you are using the chat. Don't leave me hanging out here by myself. Use the chat, be a part of the Women in Digital Business family, and let's get started with today's workshop, how to create a lead magnet. So this workshop is going to be about everything you need to know about creating a lead magnet, literally, and it's going to give you a whole load of ideas. Some of you know who I am. Okay, my name is Natalia Nicholson, and I am the founder of Women in Digital Business. I'm a certified Google digital marketing coach, so I spent a considerable amount of time being a part of the Google Digital Garage, which was helping existing business, startups, entrepreneurs, micro businesses, small businesses, startups, really understanding about the digitalization age and how you can use digital methods, strategies, platforms to be able to grow your business. I've been an entrepreneur since 2003. Can you believe that? And we're now in 2023. That makes me feel really old. So I've been an entrepreneur for a very long time. I've seen businesses failed. I've gone bankrupt. I have made businesses into 7 figures, sold them on. I'm also the founder of an e-commerce store called NN Inspirational Gifts. And the founder of Women in Digital Business, a community that exists to help women like us, to help underrepresented women really get ahead. You know, women are they're the heart of a lot of economical economies around the world, and underrepresented women are at the forefront of that in all countries, especially developing countries, Africa, Asia, the Caribbean. Underrepresented women of color are rocking it, and we are setting up businesses like no other underrepresented group. However, we are the least supported. So Women in Digital Business really exists to be able to give you the tools and the resources to be able to strategize, to make minimal, mistakes. And I don't really like the word mistakes. I feel like over the years I've failed my way to success. Making mistakes is actually how you learn. If you don't make a mistake, how can you expect to learn? But at the same time, when you come from a background where nobody is entrepreneurial, you don't know a lot of the tricks of the trades. If your family made shoes for a living, or they were farmers, or your dad was JP Morgan, you would know how to sow seeds and farm. You would know how to trade stocks and shares. These things get passed down. When you're from a background where things don't get passed down, there's a lot of things you just don't know. And that expression, when you know, well, it's the same. It's the opposite. When you don't know, you don't know. So this community really exists to be able to guide women to just avoid the common pitfalls that can be made that often can put people off entrepreneurialism. Many of us have got a dream. Many of us have got a goal. Many of us have to survive and make it for our family's sake. So being able to get guidance and being able to know that you're going to make it to that 6-7 figures, and get that support and help you need. That's what Women in Digital Business is there for. It's for those women that have got grit and tenacity, that believe in themselves. And if you believe in yourselves, I believe in you. So that's who I am. So who knows it, feels it, as my dad would always say. So I understand what it is to be an entrepreneur. So I'm speaking from a place of experience. Okay. So I've been featured in Unremarkable, which is a great initiative by Google, Lloyd's TSB. I've done corporate training, digital training, you name it. There's many, many big brands that I have consulted for. But it wasn't always like this. I mean, I can sit here now and say, yeah, I've done this. Yes, I've got businesses to this amount of figure and sold it. I can say that now, but it wasn't always like that. It was 17 years ago that actually I quit my full-time job shortly after working a few years of graduating to say, right, I'm going to build my first business. And that business was an online bookstore. So even the photos you're seeing on the screen is me really trying to figure things out. And I struggled big time. I was walking the walk and talking the talk, but actually I wasn't getting the results, and I didn't have a lifestyle reflected that. My mouth and the pictures that you see was reflecting success, but my bank balance surely wasn't. I went through some hard times. It's after this period, shortly after this, that I actually went bankrupt. Okay. So I struggled to get sales. I struggled to build out a sales funnel that really converted and really developed marketing channels that had return on investment. And the only time that I turned that is around when I really learned about growth planning and strategy. So Women in Digital Business is all about understanding strategy and being able to plan out your customer journey. And within that customer journey, there's very many stages, and I deliver a lot of training and workshops around this. And today, what we're going to be doing is looking at lead magnets. Lead magnet is the part of your customer journey that you've now made your audience aware of you. You want to engage with them, and you want to find out more about them so they can potentially buy from you. That's the engagement stage. After the engagement stage, you want them to subscribe, and subscribing is your prospect, subscribing to a lead magnet so you can collect their details. So it's step 3 of the customer journey. And your job to have a successful business and use digital strategies is to be able to map out that customer journey in great detail. And then you start to get predicted sales. So stick with me, because a lot of the workshops we do are really about you being able to understand and craft that customer journey, also known as a sales funnel. Okay, so it took me a while to really stand still and just analyze where I was in that moment. Okay, that's what growth planning is. Sometimes you have to stop working in your business and start working on it, and making sure you're identifying those half-built bridges that keep you stuck. What are half-built bridges? It's shiny object syndrome. It's something that you start and you never finish. So that could be multiple business ideas. One day you're doing one thing, then the next, then you're teaming up with someone. But don't beat yourself up about it. I'm not bringing it up to be hard on you. It's called shiny object syndrome, and all entrepreneurs suffer from it. We all want to be doing about 3, 4, 5, 6 businesses at the same time. But what happens is we're not following through. And even if you've got one business you're focusing on, what can happen with half-built bridges is one day you're on Instagram. Then it's like YouTube's the next thing. I've got to make a YouTube channel. Oh my gosh, have you seen what's happening with podcasts? That's a great way to get people and make people aware of me. So you start a podcast. Then it's TikTok. Oh my gosh, TikTok is the new revolution. I need to start making videos. Then it's Reels. And you're so busy following different trends, different community, different gurus, reading blogs, that you're just constantly building up these half-built bridges that you are never following through. You're never figuring out to yourself what's going right, what's going wrong. How do I make this bridge work and be built fully and monetized before I move on to the next bridge? They keep you stuck. And it took me a very, very long time just to stand still and realize that, and actually take a long, hard look at what is working or what's working for competitors, and then adapting that into my own strategy. Okay, it wasn't until 6 years ago I really understood how to optimize my marketing effort for results. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, you should be scoring everything you're doing. If you're scoring everything you're doing, you will understand what works and what doesn't, and tweak it and optimize your journey, that you get a journey that's going to bring you the results that you want. You should know what goals you're trying to work towards. We've all heard that, start with the end in mind. If your goal is to own your house outright, build your house, pay off your mortgage, send your children to private school, do better and bigger things for the community, you have to put together a business strategy that's going to give you those results that would then be able to give you the ultimate goal that you want. Just shooting and aiming in the dark and saying, oh, positive thinking, I'm just going to bring it all in. By the grace of God, I'm going to make it. It isn't enough. God will grace you and God will guide you, but you have to be able to navigate and strategize. And it wasn't until I understood that I was really able to audit where I was, audit all my assets, and find ways to make them work individually for me. And that's when I built a future-proof funnel, and I was able to really scale my business and get revenue in, and actually be able to get to that stage of life and break a ceiling height where I can do and be better for others. You cannot help others until you can help yourself. Okay, so that's the exact growth plan I use, and it really helped me to become a leader It helped me to create a community for underrepresented women. It's helped me work in diversity, technology, digital marketing. It's helped me become a Gold Tier Google Unremarkable host, a digital marketer certified partner, and just a dynamic coach all round that, I have integrity and I get a lot of recommendations. I've got a social media following, and that really is because I strategize and I use growth digital plans in everything that I do. And I want to be able to teach you how to do that exact same thing. So you too can become an entrepreneur and make your current and existing business or business idea to that 6-7 figure and keep moving on to the next thing. Okay? So that's who Women in Digital Business are, okay? Women in Digital Business empowers underrepresented women to build 7-figure digital businesses through a strategic marketing makeover system. For some of you that are in 0, it's 6 figures, but we're going to get to 7. And it's all about having strategy. So how are we going to start with that? We're going to start with talking about lead magnets. So again, within your customer journey, you've got the awareness stage. How will I make my customer aware of me? Even before that, you have to understand what your brand stands for, who your audience is, and what your value proposition is. Then you want to make your audience aware of you. Then you want them to engage with you and you engage with them so you can learn more about them to make sure that your offering is correct. And then you want to be able to get them to subscribe. You want to get their email address so you can keep marketing to them, or their cell number, or both, but you want to keep marketing to them over and over again. So in part 1, we're really going to cover what is a lead magnet. Okay, so a lead magnet is an irresistible offer you present to prospects in exchange for their contact information. Lead magnets are essential because they provide value in advance of a purchase. They build authority, they build trust, and they help you get prospects into your funnel. How many times on the internet might you see something that is really interesting to you, but you're not ready to buy? And especially if you don't know someone, especially in, for those of you who are from the African community, I'm not sure how many of you are from Africa here. Trust is a big thing. There's a lot of scammers. There's scammers everywhere in the world, not just Africa. But, there's a lot of scammers. It's quite prominent in the news. What makes you think you're just going to spend money with someone just because it sounds good? You need to be able to build trust and you need to be able to build authority. Your job as a business owner is to figure out, how do I build the same trust in terms of meeting someone, being able to connect with them and look at them and have all your 5 senses, meaning sight, smell, taste, hearing, and touch. How do you translate that into technology? How do you translate that to someone that's on a laptop, a smartphone, or a tablet? Your job is to build trust. Okay, so a lead magnet is a great way to build trust and build your authority, so people aren't thinking, that sounds good, but I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if I can get my card details. So it's a really great way to tear down and build barriers. Okay, so on your screen right now, you can see an example of a lead magnet. This is one that we do called the 5-day challenge. And if any of you are interested in doing the 5-day challenge, which will really break down the whole customer journey in the different stages and teach you about it, the lead magnet and subscription is just one of the 9 stages. Princess, if you're there, if you could put the link in the chat for the 5-day challenge, that would be absolutely amazing. So the 5-day challenge is something that will really help you understand the customer journey, otherwise known as a sales funnel, in its entirety. Today we're looking at lead magnets, but it's a part of an actual strategic journey that you're going to take your customer through. So if you've got that link, once you've got it, you will see the whole page. That's a lead magnet. So you can see it, the picture on your screen. Princess is going to drop the link into the chat for you within the next few minutes. And that is a live example of Women in Digital Businesses lead magnet. But you're here with me now. And don't forget, for any of you that have joined me recently and wasn't here in the beginning, please do not forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Okay, please don't forget that. So this is an example of a lead magnet. The link should be in the chat for you that Princess will drop in there. And check out our example of a lead magnet and actually participate in the lead magnet, because this will teach you exactly what a full customer journey is. We're just covering the subscription part today, which is a lead magnet. Okay, so part 2, what's the different types of a lead magnet? Okay, so there's different types of lead magnets, by the way. You need to figure out what lead magnet would I give away for my business. Okay, what lead magnet would really get people to leave their details for me and opt into a form where they've got to fill out their name, their full name, their email address, and possibly their telephone number. I don't know what you're giving away, possibly your address, who knows? So reports or guides are a great one. And an example of a screen is a New Orleans guidebook. So this is a free visitor's guide. So let's say you're visiting somewhere like the New Orleans. This will give you a completely free guidebook, which is obviously going to give you coupons. It tells you a detailed city map, itineraries, a festival guide, and events calendar. So these are things that you're going to want to know if you are visiting. So reports and guides can be great lead magnets. Cheat sheets, handouts. You know, maybe you in a similar field to me and you're a marketeer and you're going to help people with their business. Maybe you've got a fashion company, okay, and there might be a cheat sheet of figuring out what shape you are to buy clothes that suit your shape. Think about the pains and challenges of your audience. If you have any question, usually the answer is always going to be with what would your customer want. So understanding who your customer is fundamental. It's so detrimentally important when it comes to marketing and getting yourself out there. So cheat sheets and handouts are a great way. Okay, toolkits and resources, the example on the screen, design thinking for educators. So these are people that educate other people, and this might be a toolkit that's got a design thinking process, with methods and instructions that can help with design thinking, because this might be something that you teach. So this is going to be interesting to you as a teacher, because you could use this resource to maybe teaching to your class. So toolkits, resources, maybe your products or services in SaaS, software sold as services. So, your Canvas of the world, your Slacks, your Veed, which is a video one. Oh, there's so many out there. They often give away free trials. They have what I call a freemium version. So maybe you want to give away a free trial of something. Okay, maybe you are selling cakes and you say, come to my shop and on Fridays between this hour, you can get something free and trial it because people will buy more from you. Think about your customer. And to think about your customer means you really need to tap into their psychometrics, okay? You really need to understand your customer on a deeper level. Yeah, you need to know your customers better than they know themselves. Demographics are things like age, gender, location, income bracket. You want the psychometrics. How do you feel about life? What's your good versus evil? What do you stand for? What are your blueprints look like? What's your thoughts on life? Are you against animal cruelty? Are you a vegan? Are you a quiet person? Are you an introvert? Have you got insecurities? Are you very confident? You want to know about someone. The more you know about someone is the more you can think, what would someone really need? Think about your products and service. Every business should solve a problem in their customers' lives. Ask yourself, what problem do I solve? And when you figured out what problem do you solve, think about what can I offer for someone to test out what I do and who I am, to build my authority. What could I give them as a lead magnet? And all the ideas we're going through at the moment are different ideas of what you could possibly come up with for your lead magnet. Because once you have a lead magnet in place, it's a beautiful way to keep getting leads, to attract more leads. Attracting more leads means you're attracting more customers. Attracting more customers means you're attracting more profit. Okay? Video trainings. So maybe you want to do a video training. Maybe you want to put together a webinar. Maybe you want to do some type of online course. Obviously, a digital lead magnet's always going to be easier because it means someone can opt in and get something of value back there and then. You might be a restaurant. Maybe what you'll do is give away a recipe card for something that you cook. And some of you might be saying, no, Natalia, why would I do something so stupid as to give away an ingredients card or the framework of a recipe that I cook in a restaurant that people can buy? They'll just do it at home. Let me tell you something. People like convenience in this world. You will give them the secret to what you do and they will not be bothered to do it. There is a reason why only 1% of this world is rich. Okay, and even if you gave that recipe away, you don't have to put the methodology in. I call it giving away one layer of the onion. Okay, the lead magnet should just be one layer of the onion. It should get someone's interest, not giving it away all. So maybe if you had a restaurant, you might put the recipe card together and you might put what ingredients you need, but you might not go into very much depth about the entire methodology. So that dish is still very personal and specific to you. Maybe, you will say, to find out the missing ingredient, come to the restaurant, we'll give you a discount code off. Think creatively and think about who your audience is. Okay, so video trainings might be a type of lead magnet for you. Maybe you're into e-commerce. Maybe it's giving discounts away. Maybe it's a free shipping code. I order shoes for my children from Clark's religiously. I only order from Clark's outlet, and I only order when I have a coupon code for free shipping, because I got a discount on the shoes. I feel like me paying for the postage and packaging is taken away from my discount. So I'm always looking for coupon codes for free shipping. So again, understand who your audience is and make sure you are producing some type of lead magnet that is appealing to them. So discounts or free shippings might be one for you. Maybe it's doing some type of assessment. Okay. Personality assessments work really well. Like, I've done them before, or quizzes. Quiz funnels are a really great thing. How many of you have done a quiz that will say, have you got what it takes to be that entrepreneur? What type of housewife are you? What type of mum are you? How successful will your children be? I'm plucking things out the sky, but assessment and quizzes are great ways. I've done personality tests before where I might learn about myself, or it tells you what celebrity you're like. These are all things that, again, get people's attention. But think about who your audience is. What type of lead magnet would your audience like? And it needs to be something that is something that you can put together. And once you've done that, that's when you're really going to start to build a really high quality list. So it could be an assessment where you're assessing someone to find out they're at the right level. That gives exclusivity. Before we can sign you up, you need to be assessed. It gives it that level of, it's a high end members club to be involved in, or you've got to be really good to get access to it. And then you got the quizzes or surveys. They're familiar, but they're similar. Sorry, not familiar. They're similar, but not quite the same. Even though I spoke about both at the same time previously, they are different, but the same, as a contradiction. But I know you know what I mean. So you got quizzes or surveys. All of these on the screen are live examples of lead magnets. Okay, who here knows who IKEA is? I'm sure that you do. Signing up for catalogs or for design materials. I've signed up for IKEA for the kitchen planning, to plan my kitchen. Now, instantly, they've got my details. Nowadays, we're not giving catalogs away, especially we're trying to save paper and sustainability and recycling. So now you've got catalogs that you've got to ask for to send out. That's a lead magnet, because you've got to put all your details in. Look what you're getting from a catalogue. Email address, mobile number, first name, and address. That's a lot of information for a prospect that is now a warm lead, because they're interested in you. They're interested in that lead magnet. It means that they're possibly interested in buying from you. So collecting their details means that you can continuously go, I'm here, by sending reminders out. By having their email address, that's where you send email newsletters out, and you can send program series of messages depending on what action your prospect's taken. So the messages are very personal to them. So now what I want to do is I want to look at a checklist before you actually start building. So one of the mistakes that we can often make as entrepreneurs is just jumping in head first and just going with something without really thinking it through. And then when we're halfway through it, we think, oh my gosh, I didn't think about X. I didn't think about this, or I forgot about this. It's about taking that time. That's why there was a part in this workshop where I said one of the first steps is just stand still. Just stand still and just look at your business and work on it and not in it. Okay? So part 3, you really want a checklist. You want a checklist before you start actually building. So let's look at what that checklist looks like. Know your customer. And you've heard me say this repeatedly since I started this workshop. It's important to know what your customer wants, what your customer needs, so you can provide content that they want to engage with. Engagement is also about you being able to write in whether that's writing, taking videos, whatever content type form that it's in, where you are addressing their objection to sell. When a prospect is interested in you and they found you at the awareness stage and they're interested to you, the next thing you're going to do when you're interested in anything is you're going to go into a consideration stage. You're going to think, that's interesting. I think that might be work for me. And the next thing you're going to do in this day and age, because of the internet, is you're going to go and do some research. You're going to look at what makes me credible to sell or do what I'm doing. You're going to want to see, are there others doing what I'm going to do? You're going to want to see what the price difference is. Can I get it cheaper somewhere else? But maybe it's not the same quality. You're going to start looking into things. You're going to start considerating. You're going to start to consider, and you're going to start to do research. It's your job as the business owner and the marketeer to make sure the content you are producing and getting to know your customer is actually answering any objection to sell that they want. It's not about selling. At this point, you want to set yourself as an authority, you want to educate your audience, and you want to make sure that within your content marketing strategy, you are actually answering any objections to sell without it seeing them in like a Q&A, by offering information of value, whether that's a blog, whether that's a social media post, a video post. Okay? Creating a community, doing polls, asking questions. Get to know your customer. It's really, really key. And that vital question, what you are offering your customer in terms of your product or service, does it solve a problem in their life? Many a times in businesses, people will start the customer journey, and what they haven't done is align their target audience and customer segments to what actually they're offering as their product offering. You need to be clear on what your value proposition is. Your value proposition should be something that actually your customer segment would bite your hand off to get, because it solves such a big problem or within their lives in terms of your product and service and marketplace. It's not any general problem you're solving. It's the problem that you are solving in terms of what you sell and what you're offering. So know who your customer is. Get to know those psychometrics. If you look on the YouTube channel, you will find workshops about customers, customer avatars. On YouTube in general, you will find a lot of information about customer avatars, and that's what you want to do. You want the psychometrics and not the demographics. So next, know the next offer. What do I mean by that? In order to create a seamless transition, you need to know what you're going to offer your customer. Be very clear on what your customer needs and be clear on what you're offering. Many times when a small business cannot explain what they do in 1 to 2 sentences, you're in dangerous territory. It means you explaining to your audience what you do can become problematic, and your now customer doesn't actually know, or they're not clear around what the offer is. And just remember, simple often works best. Trying to overcomplicate, what an offer is, what you get, and how you set things up can be a sure way to just lose a prospect. Do the research. We are in the digital age. Data insights is just so key. It's not even funny. Even if you're a brand new business and you have to say, well, I haven't got any customer data, I don't have any past data. Look at what your competitors are doing. So take note of what kinds of lead magnets already exist for your customers, and make something new or even a better version of something that's already out there. You can use software like SEMrush, SEMrush, where you can really find out what your competitors do, what keywords they use, what's working for them, what not working for them, so you can really make some informed decisions. There's a freemium version and a paid version. I think the free version is just a 7-day trial. You could use Google Trends. You could look at what people are searching for. Okay, there's, blogs, there's business reports, there's different communities you can go into and ask questions. There's so many different ways to do research. And sometimes, considering we are in the digital age, we don't use the internet to our advantage to really be able to find out thoughts, opinions, what thought leaders think, and just be able to come to conclusions based on research and not assumptions. For many of us, we are our target audience. It's very, very easy to make assumptions. So now you want to build out your lead magnet. once you've determined what kind of lead magnet your customer wants, building it out is actually pretty easy. The hardest part is always in the strategy, and that's the part that we generally think is the hardest. So you could even give the task to an outsourcer. There's places like Fiverr, there's places like Upworks if you're short on time. Maybe your lead magnet could be the making of your business. Maybe if you're a coach and consultant, you will take that time out and maybe write a book, put together a webinar. But you could white label. There's PLR stores, which is white label stores where you can get books from that are related to a topic that your audience would be interested in. You could design a new cover. They're white label products. So there's many different ways that you can build out your lead magnet. So part 4 is the elements of an effective lead magnet. That's what we are going to look at next. Okay, elements of an effective lead magnet. So elements of an effective lead magnet, and this is something that you really want to watch back through this workshop or take a picture of the screen right now. And just to quickly remind you, for those of you that joined and you missed the beginning, please do make sure that you hit the subscribe button, you like, and you comment, please. So, what's the elements of having an effective lead magnet? Be specific, and be specific and intentional in everything you do, by the way. So the more specific the promise you deliver upon in your lead magnet, the better. So you might have a weight loss product and it could be lose 7 pounds in 30 days, guaranteed, and eat what you want. Be specific, be intentional. Okay, speak to the desired end result. Figure out what the desired outcome of your prospect wants and keep that in mind. There's a huge difference between benefits and features. Let's say you had a weight loss program. We'll go with that example as I started with it. And you had a aloe vera juice. I know there's many women that are part of networking groups where they might sell a particular supplement. You want to concentrate on the desired results. Is that desired result getting into a wedding dress? Is the desired result getting rid of baby fat? Is the end result being able to have a lot more confidence from losing weight? Is the end result from losing loads of weight because you want to meet someone and become more confident? Okay, that is the benefits. The features are it's a natural product. The features are there's no chemicals in it. The features are you just take it 3 times a day as a supplement for food. Features and benefits are different, and you want to be focused more on the benefits, which is the after. What does life look like once your product or service has actually solved the problem? Okay, so speak to a desired end result. That's what makes a great lead magnet. That's what makes someone say, yeah, I need that. I need to sign up for that. That's exactly what I need. And let me try it out. You're building trust, you're building authority. Your lead magnet wants to provide immediate results. Unfortunately, in this day and age, I call it the Instagram pop-up life. That's what people want. I want success. I want glam. I want to be wearing Louis Vuitton. I want to be living in a high-rise apartment. You want that life. You want that look. There's so many influencers that seem so happy in the snapshot of moments that they post online. We just live in a day and age. People are using Uber Eats, Deliveroo. Everything is about convenience. So people want a quick win. So make sure whatever they are doing, they don't have to wait to see. This is why a digital asset and product works really well, because it can be delivered immediately. You want it to be easily consumed. People don't want a long drawn out process. Again, quick and easy results. Like, no one doesn't want to know that they've got to do a 6-month diet plan to get the end results that they want. Okay, and you want this to be easily consumed because you want them to eventually buy from you, even if it's what I call entry point products and it's something small. Ultimately, your aim from this lead magnet is to build trust, get their details to keep remarketing. So actually, you can turn them into a customer and you can upsell them. So you don't want to wait too long to actually get to that point, but you want to build trust at the same time as well. So you need it to be easily consumed. You don't want a long drawn out process. You want it to be valuable. It needs to be worthy of giving up contact information. So make sure it's packed full of valuable information. Okay, that's really, really key. And the more valuable it is the more contact information a prospect will give up. Sorry, I just took a sip of water there. So that brings us to the end of really understanding what a lead magnet is. Now, some of you might have some questions of thinking, oh, how does a lead magnet work for my business? How would I introduce a lead magnet? I'm not quite sure what would work. Oh yeah, but I'm manufacturing, I'm in business to business. It's not really the same thing. Well, what I want to do for you is just take the next 15 minutes to answer any questions that anybody's got. Okay, so I want you to think about what we've just gone through, and I want you to take this time and use this space and take advantage of being able to ask questions that relate directly to your business. No question is a silly question. The more you ask, what you'll find is other people will think, I was thinking that too, but they didn't want to ask. Okay, this is a free workshop and you're getting amazing value. You've got access to me, so make sure you ask questions relevant to your business. And if some of your questions fall outside the arena of an actual sell and lead magnet, and it's just about the problems that you're having with your business and asking a question, feel free to ask. It's called the Digital Marketing Corner. My name is Natalia Nicholson. It's been a pleasure. So make sure you ask in the chat. While you are typing in the chat, and Princess, once the questions come through, please do send them directly to me so I can see them here on my device, my phone that we're communicating on, and that way I can answer the questions. So just copy and paste them across to me because I'm sharing screen. I can't actually see the chat. In the meantime, however, I just want to talk to you. So type your questions out, but while you're doing that, I just want to kind of talk to you about what it actually means to get strategic. And for some of you that are just starting out in business, or you started and you just can't seem to get that rhythm, your mojo, you're not getting the results that you need, you're unsure where to begin, I just want to give you something that's going to really, really help you. Because I know what it's like when, you're unsure, or worse, you have no idea where to begin. You don't know what your business needs the most, or you're stuck on how to get your business off the ground. You don't understand your audience. Like, maybe one of the things that's come out today's session is actually, I don't know my audience psychometrics. I don't actually fully understand who they are. Or you might be thinking, actually, my audience is so big, I can't attract everyone. That's another fundamental problem with a lot of small businesses. You're trying to target everyone because you're like, well, my product's for everyone. If you try to target everyone, your messaging will get misplaced because you can't be everything to everyone. You have to start with one customer segment, get it right and monetize, and then go on to the next. Else, otherwise, trying to target everyone and have messages and content that is really going to be able to connect with your audience when it's everyone is really, really difficult. It's not going to be personalized. Okay. I've just been aware that we can't post the link. So what we're doing is we're adding links to the description, by the way. So throughout that workshop, I gave you a link to our 5-day challenge so you could have an example of a lead magnet. And I urge you to actually take the 5-day challenge because you will learn about the whole customer journey. Lead magnets just one part of it. So please make sure you check out the description where we will drop the link for the 5-day challenge. Okay. And again, use the chat for questions, please. But the link for the 5-day challenge that some of you have been requesting for, it's going to be in the description. Okay, so even if it's after this live, go into the description and get it, or Princess is putting it in there now. Give her a couple of minutes. Princess, let me know once it's in there and I'll let you know, and you can go into the chat to get the 5-day challenge, which is an example of our lead magnet. And it's actually a challenge that you want to take to understand more of what the customer journey actually is. So you can start building out all the stages, because lead magnets and getting your prospect to subscribe and give their email address away is just one part of it. So getting back to some of the problems that some of us have, and I'm not really a problem-focused person, so we're going to come off this soon. So if you don't understand your audience better than they know themselves, you can't tap into those psychometrics. You don't know the difference between your target audience and what the customer segments are, because you can't be everything to everyone. If you tried everything on your own and you're finding nothing's really working and you're not getting ahead, and you're not seeing the progress that you would like to see, and you're just struggling to get that monthly revenue in, to get to the goal, to be able to either give up work or break even and get to that next level, I really do suggest that you come and join us for the Ultimate Online Business Bootcamp, which is really, really worth it. Okay, so the Ultimate Online Business Bootcamp, just to tell you a little bit about it, it's a full day, but you can do it in 3 different parts because it is online. So the Ultimate Digital Business Bootcamp, it really is going to empower you and give you I'm going to empower you and ask you a lot of questions that's going to enable you to start seeing a vision and come up with a strategy that's really going to help you build that 6 to 7 figure business by delivering effective techniques throughout each one of the masterclasses across the 3 days. I can see your questions coming in, by the way, so I will come and answer them after this. So the first thing you're going to learn is a guide to identifying the right market, winning products, and that perfect offer. That's what you call the value proposition. Okay, I also coach and teach at graduate, postgraduate, and A level standard, and that's one of the things that it will take a whole semester to cover. This is something where I get straight to the point and give you what you need in terms of understanding what's your value proposition. Okay, you're going to find out and learn more about how to get sales for your product or service using that 3-step profit accelerator. It's about not leaving money on the table. So within this boot camp, you're really going to learn, how do I just keep increasing the amount of customers I have? How do I keep increasing the transaction value and always having that at the forefront of your mind? And how do I increase the transaction size of each transaction? So you're always thinking and strategizing about ways where you are always maximizing profit and not leaving money on the table. It's really important. And then thirdly, we're really going to go through looking at proven methods, looking at sales funnels that have actually worked, that I can give you case studies for, that will give you even more ideas and help you really cement the strategies in and think, I get it now. Okay, so day 1's the heavier day, which is a guide to identifying the right market. This is where I ask you a whole load of series of questions about your audience, what they think, what they feel, what are they doing in any given situation. And I also ask you a whole host of questions about your products and services that you're offering. So this is a chance for you to work on your business and not in your business. This is not me talking at you like I'm talking to you now. This bootcamp comes with worksheets, and at the end of it, you will become very, very clear on who your marketplace is, what your product offering is, and the winning products and services and how you package them, and understand who is your customer, and make sure you have the perfect offer for your customer. Okay, and that knowing that actually allows you to write copy and connect with your audience, because if you know your audience, you understand how to connect with them, and now you can start writing from a place where you're building personal relationships. Okay, I've gone back there a bit. We don't want to go back, do we? So on the screen now, you should see a code that's about to come up where you can join the boot camp. So check it out. And this boot camp, generally, when it first came out, this boot camp in the US used to sell for $497. When we came into the African marketplace, we lowered all of our prices to make our products and services more affordable for underrepresented groups, because it's really important for me. You know, I might have been born here in the UK, but my parents are from the Windrush generation, the transatlantic slave trade. I want to be able to help women like myself. So we lowered our price. We are known for giving value. Okay. And then just to make it a no-brainer and make sure that women can start their business on the right foot without having to constantly keep backtracking and thinking about who's my audience. I got the product offering wrong. My brand, it's not there yet. Because before you can start that customer journey, these are the fundamental basics that you have to understand. So it's just $27. If you are on this call with me from Africa, you can pay by PayStack, which makes it really easier for you. But the QR code's on the screen, and Princess is also going to drop the link for the bootcamp into the description. Okay, so just click the description for it. And even if you're not ready, all the information is there to tell you about the bootcamp, and it's something that is there. Okay, we're about building a community. So I've got some questions coming in. I'm going to leave this page up for now because you can see the URL if you want to type it in freely yourself as well. So some of the questions I've got is question 1, how do I find my target audience? You really find your target audience by thinking about what problem does my product and service solve? Like what audience, who does it solve? What audience, what customer segment has got that? And I really want you to drill down when you think about these things. So you might know that your target audience, for example, who asks that question is mums. But what type of mums is it? Is it working mums? Is it mums that have just had babies? Is it mums that have got grown children? Is it single parents? There's so many different types of mums. Does that make any sense? Is it mums that might come from a Muslim background and got different values and beliefs to someone who's maybe Christian or to someone who's an atheist? I don't know. Am I making sense? It's about really thinking who is my customer segment. And even if you can say, well, it's for all mums, I would say you want to start with a segment that has got easy access for you to get to, meaning you know where they hang out, and meaning which one of your customer segments is it that they're more going to bite your hand off for that offer because their problem is so big or they want a solution straight away. Maybe your prospect doesn't even know what you do in your terms of your product or service even exists. And in that case, that's fine. You're going to have to educate them. But what part of your audience is going to be more open to trust you to get your business off the ground? Some of your audience might be harder crackers than others, if that makes any sense. So when it comes to figuring out who your target audience is, think about those questions. If you're still not sure, look at who your competitors audiences. Go and do some research. Look at the software SEMrush. Look at Google Trends. Search on Google. Search on the internet. What does your competitors' customers look like? Because that will give you a clue. I actually use advertising a lot, just to let you know, to understand who my audience is. So if I've got a really great idea and I want to go ahead with it, I will actually use Facebook because Facebook targets by interest. If someone is looking for you, this is where Google AdWords or organic or organic SEO, let me finish the sentence, or content marketing works really well for you because people are looking for you. Okay, in the instance where people aren't necessarily looking for you because they don't know you exist, this is where Facebook is brilliant because you can target via interest. You might know that all the people that are interested in the book that you've written would also read Michelle Obama's book. So you would say, Facebook, I want to target people that follow Michelle Obama's book because they're probably going to like what you do. So by running ads, you might take a very small budget and run ads just for you to put together a customer profile of who's interested in what you're putting out in your ad, whether that's a video. So you might put a video and you might only want to collect the data or not collect the data, set up a pixel of those that a pixel is like a tracking code for those that watch 50% of your video or more. Because one could argue that for someone to watch 50% of your video, they're interested in what you do. Hey, you might go to the full 100% or 75%. So there's different angles that, you could really take if you get stuck on finding out who your audience is, depending on what your business does. So there's different ways. You can do it through paid social media marketing. You can do it through research. You can do it through looking at your competitor. You could do it by taking a really good deep dive into the psychometrics. This is what the bootcamp is going to do. Okay, so that's question 1. Question 2 is, how do I use lead magnets to build a community? Brilliant question. I love that question. Sometimes people get bogged down thinking my product or service isn't ready, so I'm not going to launch my business. No. Because while you are sorting out your product or while you're sorting out your service, if it's not ready, you can be building a community. So when you do launch, you've got an audience to launch to. So actually, I love that question. Okay, so how do I use lead magnets to build a community? Within your community, again, think about what do people want to know. So let's say, for instance, you was building a fashion brand that was going to hide tummy fat. I'm putting this out of the air, so work with me here. But you don't actually have the clothes or the line. You haven't designed anything yet. You don't know who your suppliers are going to be. You haven't got a clue. But you want to build a community of women. So you might build a community of women that are plus size, that want to embrace their bodies. They love their bodies. Maybe they're not trying to lose that weight to be the perfect, what we see on Instagram or a magazine or somewhere. They're happy with they are, and they're happy how they embrace themselves. So you might start a community, and you might start giving lead magnets away of tips how to complement an apple shape, a pear shape, being top heavy, smaller on the bottom. Does that make any sense? And you might do a guide that you can give away within your community. So even though you're not selling the product or service yet, you're putting something together. Does that make any sense? That is interesting, and people are going to keep coming to that, back to your community, because they see you as an authority. Okay. So hopefully that answers that question. I'm loving the questions that are coming through right now. Question number 3: how do you move from posting videos to providing value for indulgent products like fashion? That's a really good question. So if you're making videos and you've got following and you've got engagement, you're in a really strong position. Know that and understand that, by the way, and very well done. Hopefully you can hear me clapping. On a serious note, for all of you, the questions that you're asking mean that you've done incredibly well. And as women, you need to recognize when you've done well and say, well done. And we do not do it often enough, and we need to. So in terms of, you going from posting videos and to providing value for products in fashion, what I would say is you have to think about that after effect. So what you got, the before and after, that's what I call it. So before is, what does your prospect look like before they came into contact with any of your videos and now going on to possibly buy fashion products from you. So their life could have been not feeling very great about themselves. Maybe they want to spice their relationship up. I don't know. Think about your audience. Everything is always with who is your audience. And they're not feeling appreciated. They don't like. I go through this stage. Even now, I've got 3 children, by the way. I work from home all the time, and a lot of the times I'm just in homeware, loungewear, and I don't really make an effort. From being busy, from running around, the children, running a business, whatever the case may be. And I keep vowing to myself, I need to invest more time in myself. And actually, when I do get dressed up, I feel better about myself. So that's my before state. So think about, what's the before state of your customer? Who is your customer? What does fashion do for them? How does it make them feel? What changes in their life? What's the benefit of them, being a part of your fashion group and looking and feeling better? Okay, the after effect is by taking your tips, and just by, taking a long jersey top and how you show someone to put a belt, change their look, and buying a big top from you that you can wear in 10 different ways, and you featuring that on a video. Now someone can feel comfortable, they can feel proud of themselves, they can feel sexy at the same time. It's taking your prospect from that before to the after. So thinking about where they are before and where they are after. So your videos need to expand into that. Okay, hopefully that helps and gives you some guidance. So there's quite a few questions. Question 4 is, how long do we have access to the boot camp for? It's for the next 3 days. And stay in touch with our community. I'm here to help. Women in Digital Business is here to help. This isn't just about me. This isn't about me serving myself. Trust me, we could sell all the things we sell for so much more, and we don't, because we want to build a community. Our aim is to have 10,000, and the more we grow, we will start giving back grants and funding. So that offer is available for the next 3 days. But when you're ready, you're ready. When you're ready and you want to get to that next level, you'll know, because you'll just do it. So don't stress about it, is what I would say. Next question is, can I white label essential oil on Etsy? Yeah, I mean, as long as you're white labeling an oil that is allowed to be white labeled and you're not infringing on anybody's copywriting, yeah, you can. And don't forget, it's not just Etsy, you've got Amazon as well. My candles I sell on Etsy, Amazon and eBay, and actually I sell on Amazon the most. So try to sell on a marketplace. If you're going to be using a market platform, try to sell on the market platform that has got the least competition, or if it's got a lot of competition, think about what makes you better, what makes you different, what makes you stand out, why people would buy your essential oil over others. Because if you're white labeling, more than likely so are they. So just take that into account. And finally, as we come to the end of the session, one of the last questions is, I'm starting an animal jewelry brand. I love that, but there is no pain point. How do I build features and benefits? I kind of disagree. There's a pain point and challenge in everything. And when you're starting an animal jewelry brand, you have to think to yourself, well, what in my audience, what type of audience likes animal brands? Does that make sense? It could be cultural, it could be spiritual, it could be so much different things. And a challenge and pain point isn't just something like, I want to lose weight, I want to be a better person, I should recycle more. It doesn't always have to have that ethical value. It's kind of personal to an individual. Does that make any sense? So if I like animal print, not animal print, sorry, if I like animal jewelry, that's what I like. That's what makes me feel better. That's what makes me feel good. That's what makes me feel like I'm representing a region or a culture in the world. That's what makes me feel proud to be who I am and display. When you think about fashion and you think about jewelry, it's often a reflection of somebody's self and how they feel. So their pain point is being able to express themselves and actually be appreciated for who they are and be proud of who they are. So their pain point and challenge might be how to wear that and it fits in with their everyday wardrobe. And if you're not sure what your pain point challenges are and you've got customers, ask your customers. If I don't wear animal jewelry, I'm not your audience. So go to people and in that audience and ask them. Sometimes we don't display vulnerability enough as women and we need some more. If you're not sure about something, ask. And maybe there's a brand that's you've got a competitor, go and look and see what they're doing. Go into different communities, ask questions, put surveys together, get a focus group, find out more about who your audience is, because it will answer a lot of the questions that we're going through today to make sure that you can start working a lot more strategically. Okay, so hopefully that helped. There were some excellent questions today, and our hour is coming to an end. And I always feel so disappointed as I come to the end of these workshops. I thought your questions were absolutely brilliant today. Make sure you stay in our community. Even if you're not signed up for the boot camp, join the 5-day challenge, because it means that you'll get all the alerts for the workshops that I put together. There's a lot of content on our YouTube channel, and there's more going to be going out. We're going to be bringing Digital Marketing Corner to you weekly, not just monthly, from the first week of June. So please, please, please make sure that you subscribe. Please make sure you like. Please make sure you comment. You've been an absolute diamond today. You've been absolute stars, and I've really enjoyed that. Your engagement's been amazing. The questions that you've asked have been amazing. And it's just been a really, really great session. So thank you for being here with me. We are back next month. It's just been an absolute joy and pleasure. I don't think there's any more questions, but if there are, please do make sure that you reach out to us. Princess will put our email address into the chat box, which is hello@Women in Digital Business. I hope you come onto the boot camp, and I hope to see you all soon on our live training of Digital Marketing Corner and hanging out in our community. We've also got a Facebook group, so feel free to come in there where you can meet other like-minded women and engage. It's been an absolute blast. Don't forget, the link to the 5-day challenge is in the comment section now, so sign up for that. Princess will also put the boot camp. It's on the screen. You've got the QR code. It's been an absolute pleasure. Any questions, make sure that you reach out to us. God bless to you and good night.